We're on. Yeah. What are we going to talk about today then?
So I think having more focus around candidates, aren't we? I mean, I think everyone's kind of understands the market is absolutely flying again from a job perspective. But I think it should be good to give some candidates some insight into what we're seeing and sort of what's happening really. So do you want to give your views?
Yeah, so a bit of a candidate focus this week, I reckon. Absolutely. So one of the main issues we're having at the moment is when we're instructed to work on vacancies, we talk to candidates, and candidates typically will or may say, I haven't heard of this role, I haven't been spoken to about it, I haven't applied, I'm sure I haven't applied. It's that I'm sure I haven't that worries me, because what happens is we represent candidates, and sometimes candidates are duplicated. The client has already seen them, and in some cases we get to a stage where we find out the person's actually gone through some sort of assessment. And then we go back to the candidate, and the candidate says, oh yeah, I do remember that now. Now that doesn't look favorable on any consultancy or any agency working for a business. We take the hit for that. But also, I think candidates, there's a judgmental attitude that clients just worry about whether or not candidates have really got it sewn up and prioritize what they're actually applying for. So they automatically think, you know what, this candidate is not really sure what they're applying for. So my advice for any candidate out there looking is, if you're applying for roles, make sure that you are registering, set up a spreadsheet. I'm no Excel expert, but it's pretty obvious that if you are applying for something, make a note when you've applied for it. Make a note either through who you spoke to from the agency point of view, or if you're applying directly, make sure you've got the name of the company written down and what the role was. So then when we or other agencies approach you, you can look down that list and say, yeah, I know about that role. I've applied directly or through another agency. I'm sure I'm talking on behalf of all the agencies anyway that have probably suffered this previously. But, you need, if candidates are just simply coming to you and saying, if agencies are coming to you and saying, I've got a role in Swindon and it's paying X, and do you want to go for it? Make sure you've got the job description. Make sure you know exactly what you're being represented for. That's my advice. It makes you look a lot more professional, and it saves everybody a lot of time.
And I think that there needs to be some open and honesty from recruiters as well, though, because we've all spoken with candidates who say, it sounds like something I know that the recruitment firm won't tell me who it is or anything like that. So I think my view is, if the recruitment firm aren't prepared to tell you who the client is and share the job spec with you if you're interested in it, I'd even question, one, is it a real job in the first place anyway? And two, are they really the right recruitment partner you want to be working with if they're not being open and transparent with you and potentially sending your CV here, there and everywhere, because it can have a negative effect. So definitely push for knowing who it is.
Yeah, and one of the questions, and one of the other things as well, is the agency may not even be instructed to work on it. So one of the things I'm really clear with my clients is I really want to understand who the preferred suppliers are, right? Now, I ask that question because if I'm speaking to candidates about a role and they know about a role and it's through an agency, I will absolutely say to them, great, it sounds like you're going through another agency. That agency is on the PSL. Fantastic. Good luck with your application. So agencies will try and chance their arm if they're not instructed to work on it. So you want to see a job description. There's no real reason why they can't send you a job description. All right.
No.
What else?
I think that's important, mate. And I think the other big thing we're all seeing and hearing about are counter offers. I think it's something that look, companies again know how hard it is to find quality talent. So if they've got it in their business already, they're going to try and keep you. And one of the questions I always ask candidates, and I think some of them are a bit surprised, is kind of finding out why they're looking to leave and sort of what was the straw that broke the camel's back, really? What is that thing that's making you going to go, right, now's the time to leave? And the first question I go and ask is, have you gone and spoken to your line manager about that? Have you told them what your frustrations are, what your grievances are, why you're looking to leave? Is it you want a bit more flexibility, you want a bit more salary, you want a promotion, you want a little bit more responsibility? I think kind of go and have that conversation first, because if your company can resolve it, why would you move? Do you know what I mean? You're in a great place, you're doing a good job, you're respected, you're safe. Do you know what I mean? And that's one of the big things I think people value a lot more now after everything that's happened in the last 12 months is the job security. And if your company looks after you all through the pandemic, then brilliant. But go and have that conversation first. And if you can get it resolved, brilliant. Because I think part of the problem is yeah, okay, you go off, you get a new job offer, your current employer comes back, they don't want to lose you, they make you the counter offer. And understandably, if it's what you want, you're going to say yes to the counter offer because it is what you know. But the problem is then we all heard and seen the stats that us wonderful recruiters throw around about people leaving after being counter offered. But there's always that little bad taste then from your current employer going, well, they've done it once, they've tried to leave once. Are they going to be doing it again? Are they loyal? Do they want to be here? Where in actual fact, you probably do. But go and have that conversation first with your line manager. Go and sort of thrash out your frustrations, your annoyances, why you're looking to leave. And at least you know then, because they say, look, no, there is no pay rise. No, there is no promotion. No, there is no more responsibility. Then you know where you stand. But I think that's the one big thing I'd say, because pretty much, I'd probably say 80, 90% of the people we're working with at the moment get a counter offer. And just think long and hard about that before you do. Because again, Bristol especially is a small market. So if you've gone through a whole process with a company, telling them you love them, it's a great role, your dream job, where you want to be, and you turn around and say no because you've been counter offered, in 2 years' time, the likelihood is that hiring manager is either going to be there or another company you want to go and work for, and they go, oh, I remember that person. Yeah. And again, they're not going to hire you, but again, they're going to have those reservations. And I mean, you wrote a great blog on counter offers and managing your own brand, and go and have a read of that. But definitely go and have that chat with your line manager before you kind of start applying for jobs, because you might get it resolved and save yourself a lot of stress, time and pressure. And I think a lot of candidates I work with, when I ask that question, are taken aback a little bit. But I'd rather see a candidate stay in a role that they're happy with, get the promotion, get the pay rise, and then in 2-3 years' time, we can help them again. But I think that'd be my biggest bit of advice in the market at the moment.
Yeah, and it could be as innocent as applying for roles internally, right? So you might have applied for a role internally, you've not heard back anything. So you automatically dismiss it and go out in the external market, and then you hand your notice in, and guess what? You get offered the internal promotion. That is because your line managers might be stalling. It's not on the top of their priority. So if you have applied for something internally in your business, and it is a promotion and it is the right role for you, push the agenda. Say to your line manager and say to HR, look, I want to know where I am with that internal promotion. If I'm unsuccessful, or if it's gone away, I might have to consider my options externally as well. And we sometimes find that people have applied for things, they get offered a job, and then they turn around and it's like, oh, they've come back to me internally with a promotion that I applied for about 3-4 months ago. I didn't even think I'd get it. It's a stall tactic sometimes, but other times it's not high on their agenda. So they've pushed it to the top agenda because you're leaving. So just make sure, as you've mentioned, Carl, you've explored all the avenues, whether it's an internal promotion or, spoke in appraisals or anything around what your grievances are or what you want to do. Because 9 times out of 10, and in the market we're in at the moment, companies don't want to lose people.
And again, I've helped numerous people over the last few months with salary benchmarking and things like that. So, like I said, we're more than happy to have a chat with you. We've got a salary guide we've just released for this year. So if you wanted to stay where you are, but you want to know what market rate is for your job title, don't feel you've got to go and dip your toe in the water and go to a load of interviews. We'll happily share that with you. I've got no qualms with talking to somebody that's not actively looking at the moment. It just because, look, I'm not looking to move, Carl, but it'd just be really good to know what this type of role commands in the market. And look, we're more than happy to talk you through that and give you some advice. And because at some point you're either going to be building a team yourself, and guess what, we'd love to help with that, or at some point you're going to be on the market, whether that be 6 months, 12 months, 6 years. We're absolutely fine with that. So just think that through. But I think we've gone on a bit more than 5 minutes as per usual, but we'll get it.
Okay, mate. Good. Absolutely brilliant. Excellent. Cool. So I hope that's been useful for everyone, and we'll catch up on the next one.